I'm here with my friend Henry from Henstone Distillery at their new site here in Shropshire. Absolutely amazing views behind us. To talk to you a little bit about the rum collaboration that we did well over a year ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we've just been too busy until now to come here and actually do a little promotion. We're also going to cook some amazing pork ribs, Caribbean style. We've got some plantain, some bananas and some pineapple, which we're going to use for a few other little side dishes that are going to go with it. So we're going to cook up some food, go on a little tour, have a couple of cocktails and then, yeah, just have a nice time really.
Day, yeah.
Sun's out, happy days. And the main thing about this, and the thing that I love about this rum, not only the fact that it's fucking delicious, and it really is amazing, but it's produced here in Shropshire.
Yep.
And there's only like a handful of distilleries who are actually making the rum in this country, right? So mostly they're importing a base spirit, usually from like Guyana, Caribbean, putting horrible, nasty flavours with it usually. You'll see the colour of the spice rum is like a nice sort of, you know, golden colour. The colour comes from the cask, right?
Yeah. All natural
okay.
colour.
So when you're seeing these really dark rums, that's basically a colouring.
Yeah,
there's
it's a caramel colouring.
It's a caramel colouring. So there's no colouring in this, right? But it has got my favourite spices in there, which is they're quite unique. And we toasted them until they were smoking, threw them in just for 5 days because it almost became a little bit medicinal after that. We had to do a little bit of playing around to get it right. But really happy with this one. It's got fennel, it's got cardamom, it's got star anise, it's got black pepper and allspice. So 5 of my favourite spices, but quite unique spices. No vanilla, because I fucking hate like vanilla in spice rum as well. And yeah, you need to try this one. This one is the golden rum. So this has spent a year in an oak barrel.
Yeah,
with
brand new American oak cask.
Yeah, and then this one has been bottled for 18 months, but the twist in the tail with this one is it's called Evolution Cherry Wood. The reason for that is inside the bottle, you can see there, is a stave of charred cherry wood. So cherry wood is my favourite wood to smoke with, right? It's like it's my favourite.
Yeah.
Like, and so the longer you have this bottle, the more the cherry tannins are coming through. Like I've had a couple of bottles for, you know, the full length of time now, and like it's really prominent now, isn't it? It's amazing. And obviously, if you drink half of it and then save some, you kind of concentrated it again because half the liquid's in the bottle. So you know it changes. So that's why it's called Evolution, because it changes every time you have it. I really love this one. It's a really smooth, beautiful sipper.
Yeah, really
great one. Yeah. And then this white rum, like. It's just, this is actually my favourite, yeah. So it's so complex. It's actually filtered through the local charcoal that we use, Caradoc charcoal. And you thought when we discussed this that it would strip out all of the flavour actually, but it's like...
It's gone the other way.
It's almost got like tequila vibes.
Yeah,
to a degree.
It's so complex.
I've been using it for caprianas, you know, like the Brazilian cachaça. Is it cachaça, is that how you say it? Oaxaca, cachaça, what am I on about? Oaxaca then. Yeah, so it's a little bit like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's got loads going on.
Yeah.
I say it's like Ray without the nephew, you know? If you had a Ray and nephew, it'd blow your bollocks off, the Jamaican stuff. This is just super smooth, but so complex. We're gonna do a spice rum pork rib. So British, locally sourced pork ribs, and leaving half the belly on means that you kind of get a little bit of bone in there for the look, but you're going to get a whole bit of boneless bite as well. So this is a meter probe. So it's a Bluetooth digital probe, which we're going to stick into the thickest part of the ribs, like that. And make sure it is in the thickest part, because otherwise you're going to get a false reading in there. So set up the cook.
Yeah.
Cooking pork today. We are cooking, is it a roast? We're going to say belly, because it's kind of belly ribs.
Got it.
Okay, smoker. Okay, and we don't want them to fall apart. I'm going to just drop, so for me, so this, if we were doing belly and you want it to fall apart, right, 95 is the magic number. We want to catch it about 92.
Okay.
Because, and I know that sounds mad, but like those 3 degrees will make all the difference.
Yeah.
Once you hit to 95, all of the collagen, all of the connective tissues will break down. It's the science behind it.
Yeah.
So you want to catch this just before, so it's still hanging on the bone.
Yeah.
But when you bite it, the bone just pulls away.
Yeah.
So it is a fine line. So I'm going to just drop that down to 92, okay? And then hit start the cook. Make sure you put your sound on so you can hear it. Happy days. And there is a perfectly sized, and I'm not even lying, perfectly sized chunk of cherry there, which is going to go straight down into the coals. So then what we're going to do, we've got the vents open fully at the bottom at the moment and vents on the top. We're going to, once this comes up to temperature, which when I say comes up to temperature, I'm looking to be cooking today about 130, 140 degrees, so quite low for an oven, but actually that's almost pushing towards hot and fast when you're talking barbecue, right? We get them done, I reckon we'll get them done in about 3 hours. All right, Dave, is that the last bag of sugar going in there?
It is Shropshire Lad. You want some?
Can I have a little bit? I forgot to bring my sugar as well, didn't I? Typically. Just like, yeah, a couple of tablespoons. Oh, that's generous. Actually, I'm going to, you know what, I'll use the rest of that on something else later. Thank you, bud. No, nice one. Right. Right then, so whilst that is still coming up to temperature and it's really low, what we're going to do is going to smoke some bananas. I don't know if you've ever had a smoked banana before in your life. You ever smoked a banana, mate? No? He's stag do. It's his stag do. It's his stag do next week. He'll be smoking some bananas then, I can tell you now. The reason I'm doing this while the smoke is still coming up to temperature is because obviously if it's hot, the banana's just going to go to mush. Yeah, so really almost cold smoking it, not quite cold smoking it because it's warm. Whilst it's still cold, I'm going to get these bananas in here. And they're going to literally be in there for a few minutes while I prepare the pork. Okay, right, lid on. Happy days. So we've got the very same sugar that we're going to make what you make your rum with.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to go in with some spices. So I've got some smoked paprika, loads of this because you can. It's quite forgiving. Gives good colour. So I'd say, you know, I'm doing this by eye, but you know I will put a recipe in the description. We've got some nutmeg. Now this is strong, so you only want a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That's plenty, maybe half a teaspoon. Okay. Onion granules, one of the bases of all decent barbecue rubs. Okay, we're going to go for about a tablespoon of that. Ground coriander, quite Caribbean vibes going on, just a good base, and it's not too strong again, so we can go for 2 tablespoons of that too.
Okay.
And then we've got ground cloves. Obviously cloves are really pokey, so you only want a little pinch of that, but it's really going to give it loads of body. You notice there's no heat at this point.
What's the reason for that?
I just want the spices to come through. You know, it's a spiced rum.
Yeah.
You know, spiced rum isn't spicy.
Yeah.
So these ribs are going to be spicy but not hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously black pepper, and then of course the most important of all Caribbean spices and the base of our rum is a bit of allspice or pimento. So that is quite strong too, almost like cinnamon. I give that a bit more than I do the cloves, but probably just under half a tablespoon. What I like to do when I'm making these rubs, if I'm not going to use all of this, then I don't want to put the salt in it because then sometimes you can under season your meat. So what we're going to do is season that with salt first and then put the rub on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you do the salt first, then you rub.
Yeah. All right, so now I'm going to go in with some salt. So I'm going to make sure, get a good coating of salt on these. And you see, like, it's going to be hard to, it's easier to balance, making sure you get plenty of salt, which you do need, you know.
Yeah.
These are a treat. You're not having these while you're on a diet, are you?
No.
So don't worry about it. Just get it tasty. But that we've got quite a bit of sugar in there as well. So having that amount of salt is going to help to balance that out. On the other side too. So that's nicely salted now, and I can see, you see how it's kind of already starting to dissolve into that meat. So you know the salt's there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. Right. And now I can then give it a coating of the rub. Now this would have been a good opportunity to promote my new rubs.
It would be.
But you know, they're not going to work with the flavours I'm looking for today. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. Not going to lie to you. I'm probably going to just scrape some off the table now, to be fair. Right. Let's waste not, want not. That'll do. Happy days. Get that on there. Beautiful. And then just a final coating. And I'll leave those there just for a minute or two. Let's have a little look at these bananas then. So you can see they've taken on a little bit of colour. They're still intact. Less is more, you know. We don't want them to be mega smoky, these. We want to get them off before they become mushy. And I'll let them cool completely now, and we'll make the dessert with them later. They're just going to sit on here. Put those to one side and put those back to bed. Let's go and have a look around, shall we?
Let's have a look at the cask warehouse.
Cask warehouse. Excited for this.
So this is where all the aging rum and whiskey is stored.
Oh wow. The smell as you open the door is nuts.
Got a few cask samples here for you to try as well if you'd like.
Are they virgin cask you use or?
Yeah, so we use new American oak casks. We use American oak because it's got that natural vanilla flavour in American wood.
Yep.
European oak is high in natural tannins. This is cask number 47.
So you know how old that is roughly?
This one will be about a year old.
Right.
So this is cask strength as well. So it's going to be about 64% ABV. Nice and strong.
Don't mind if I do. Oh my lord. 64?
Yeah, it doesn't taste it, does it?
No.
The golden rum that we do, that was actually voted the best UK produced golden rum. So
is this still cask strength?
this is still cask strength, but this is an older cask.
So that looks more like what you see in the bottle now.
Yeah.
That colour, right?
That's it.
Wow. You really taste the difference, can't you?
It's about a year and a half, this one, so it's not even that much older, really, but it's got a hell of a difference comparatively, isn't it?
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. You must be very proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
No, it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
So what is coming out here right now?
So this is rum at still strength. Roughly 80-something%, yeah, 85, something like that.
Wow.
Gonna get that coming through.
Come on then.
Really nice. It's good, isn't it?
I'll clear your cockles, man. We should bottle that shit.
Got 1,000 litres of rum wash into there.
Yep.
Water evaporates at a different temperature to
Alcohol.
the alcohol. So that starts rising up into the head of that.
Yep.
We've got a little pipe inside that head, so nothing actually ever comes out the top.
Okay.
Then it works itself across to the bottom of the column here.
Yep.
This column has got 4 copper plates in it, and they've got bubble caps in there with channels around.
Okay.
And it's redistilling each time it passes through one of those copper plates. Liquid comes down, condenses, and comes out. And so there's the vapour that's coming off, so that's when it loses the colour, when it vaporises.
And so then all that needs to do then is go into barrels and then it's just time.
Basically, yeah, so it comes off here at mid 80% ABV. We then liquor that back to our casking strength, which is about 65%, put it into wood, and then forget about it.
Let's try your whiskey.
Well, so it's our ex-bourbon single malt whiskey, 43.8%.
Okay.
This is matured in ex-Jim Beam
Don't mind if I do.
cask for about, I think this one's 3 years and 8 months old.
Okay.
So it has to be a minimum of 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Smells like whiskey.
You get lots of tropical fruit on the nose. Grapefruit and apples coming through, bit of honey in there.
What's your go-to?
My go-to is probably our ex-red wine cask.
Okay.
This is our latest whiskey release. Single cask, so we've probably only got about 380 bottles out of that cask.
Get on it quick, guys.
Yeah, not much left. It spent full
Whoa,
maturation.
that smells completely different.
Yeah, it is. Spent a full maturation in the red wine cask as well, so 3 years.
Getting like almost banana-y, like kind of
it's that fruity.
fruity.
It's that fruity again, yeah, tropical fruit, and that's
really
that's one of the things that flows through all of our whiskies is that tropical fruit.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Well done.
Thank you.
Indeed. Very good. It says we've got an hour to go, so should we have a cocktail? So as we're doing Caribbean flavour, I'm going to do you a Caribbean version of a Bloody Mary. We call it the Bloody Marley. Plenty of ice always. Okay, so we're going to go in with all of the shorter ingredients first. So obviously we're going to go with the rum.
Yeah.
Now, 50ml shot.
Yeah.
Is what you want. So we're going to go straight in with that. There.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we've got Henderson's Relish, 2 or 3 dashes of that, which is absolutely lovely. Then we're going to add a little hit of Encona which is Scotch bonnet chili sauce. We're going to go with the juice of half a lime. The other half is going to be a garnish.
Okay.
So squeeze that in. Lovely. All right, and then obviously you've got your tomato juice. Okay, so we're going to go halfway with tomato juice.
Yeah.
Stop. And then the nicest twist in the tail for me here is we're going to top the rest up with some old Jamaica ginger beer. Now, the reason for that, for me, a Bloody Mary is like drinking a fucking soup.
Yeah.
I don't really, it's a bit thick, it's a bit much.
Yeah.
This makes it much more drinkable. For me, a little bit of sugar. Like if anybody who cooks knows, you know, if you're using tinned tomatoes or like passata or anything like this, the natural sweetness of the tomato's kind of gone in that process.
Yeah.
So you always add a little bit of sugar.
Yeah.
So this is equivalent with me adding a little bit of sugar, a little bit of ginger.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to give it that kind of, that Caribbean vibe.
Yeah.
So we're going to top that up. And then we're going to go little spin. Mix it all up.
Yeah.
With a skewer, no less.
Absolutely. I'd expect this.
And then we're going to go in with that other wedge of lime.
Yeah.
If you want to be poncy, you put a little tomato on the top, on the side, there, like that, beautiful. And then, shameless plug, I would usually use tahini, but we brought out margarita. So this is a seasoning, a little sort of sprinkling of margarita seasoning, and we're away.
Awesome.
Let me know what you think, man.
That's fantastic.
You like it, yeah?
Yeah, that's really good.
Good.
Ginger beer is a revelation.
It is, isn't it? It really does change it, yeah? Right then, so meter is saying we've got a 76-degree internal temperature, which is roughly about where you want to wrap these ribs.
Right, okay.
But it's also saying we've got about half an hour till they're ready.
Okay.
So perfect time to make our dessert. So we're going to start that. Before I open the smoker, I'm going to get ready to put this in, or half in. So basically we've got our smoked bananas sitting here. We've got the Billington's molasses sugar still. What's left of that sugar is now going to go into this pan. I'm just going to break it down with around about 75 grams of butter. Have a look at what these ribs are saying now. I haven't even looked at them. Been in here for an hour and a half or so. Oh mate, they're looking
good.
Looking good. Pull those across. Let's make some room for the butter and the sugar. I'm going to let the butter and the sugar melt. The ribs are going to come out in just 1 second. Right, so we want a couple of layers of tin foil now. So I'm going to do, 2 should be plenty, and hopefully that's enough to cover everything. We're going to whip those out of the smoker and straight on to our foil. These beautiful ribs, just starting to sort of get soft, but they would definitely still be chewy. We've still got to go further with these. So we're going to hit them, as I said, with the butter. So I'm going to go for a couple of bits on the top. And most of this isn't going to end up in your mouth, really. It's just going to help to be super tasty and lubricated, and just like make sure that these are really, really tender.
Right.
And then, because we're smoking with cherry wood, it'd be rude not to hit them with a little cherry wood.
It would, yeah.
Cherry wood being the Cherry Evolution Golden Rum. So don't want much, because just going to put a couple of drops on there. Okay. And then I'm going to wrap this up. The meter probe has just poked out the side. I'm not worried about that. I do want the liquid to escape. We've got all that butter in there as well. But by wrapping them up like this, we're going to stop the outside corners from kind of like drying out.
Right, okay.
And it just means that they'll get really, really tender and really soft. And then they're going to go back on, as I say, for the last 5 or 10 minutes. And then we'll glaze them, and that will kind of set on top. And they should be absolutely
banging.
Yeah. All right, so they're going to go back in quickly because they're hot. Woo! All right, and just while the lid's off, we're going to deal with the next bit. So we have melted butter here. She's looking good. probably needs to go a little bit further. Maybe give it another 5 minutes or so. But while we're waiting for that, we'll make the cake mix. Do you know how to make a Victoria sponge mix?
Teach me.
Do you know though? There's a foolproof way.
Go on, tell me the foolproof way.
The foolproof way is basically, I'm going to take this pan.
Yeah.
So whatever your eggs weigh in the shell, you will use exactly the same amount of all the other ingredients, and you'll get a perfectly balanced Victoria sponge. Egg mix, we don't need loads of it.
Yeah.
So I see 57, that one is.
Yeah.
So we're doing 123 grams. Self-raising flour, 123 grams. Gonna go for, so 123 plus 123?
246.
246. Not just a pretty face, is he?
Got a little bit upstairs.
246 grams. Happy days.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna go butter, which is 123.
Yeah.
What do you reckon that is? Whoa!
Oh, let's find out.
That's never 60 grams.
70,
68.
pretty much.
I'm not going to put the rest of it in then and hope for the best. And then the 2 eggs. And then literally just going to mix that up.
Simple as that.
And you've got your perfect sponge mix. Perfect if you don't put eggshells in it. So just give that a little mix up. And because we're on a nice warm day today, that butter is really soft.
Yeah.
Which is what you want really. I know it looks a bit of a mess, but it'll come good. Just got to work that, because again, I didn't bring a whisk either, or a fork. Split the bananas in half. Banana split, literally. Let's get that out of the smoker now. Last of this butter,
Yeah.
just to go around the outside of here,
Yeah.
just to make sure absolutely everything comes out of here.
Yeah.
You know, get rid of that. And then the flat side of the banana
Yeah.
is going to go down. That's probably your lot.
Yeah.
All right, we'll curl that one around there. That'll do me.
It's looking good.
All right, and then we're going to go in there with all of this
So just straight over.
straight over the top. And it will even itself out because of obviously all the fat in it. So this is going to go in here. It helps if your grill is flat, so I'm going to level that up with some stones in a second.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put the lid back on and basically not look at it for a while, because you know what happens if you look too early with a cake. So we're going to make a little glaze now, real simple. This is just a bitter orange marmalade. So I'm going to go in with there. So an orange vibe on pork works really well. If you balance it with the spices and everything else, it's great. So marmalade's a really quick way of getting that sugar, that gelatinous kind of stickiness that we're looking for, and loads of flavour without messing around too much with oranges. Got the Ancona, so there's been no chili to this point. We're going to give that a little hit of Scotch bonnet now, because it wouldn't be Caribbean without it. Half a lime, and also a little splash of cider vinegar and a pinch of salt. I'm just going to have a little taste of that, make sure it's not going to kill anybody. Oh man, honestly, you wouldn't believe how good the marmalade is in that. Cake's starting to cook though, look at that, around the edges. Beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Right, come on, Adam, work fast. Okay, out. Burn myself, lovely. Get those on there. That butter and leftover liquid in there is going to go in the pot. I'm going to make a little shoot here. In fact, I'm going to start on the underneath bit first, because that's going to go face down. That's the bit that's been hit with the more direct heat than the top. We could get that glaze on. This is where it really start to shine and look sexy and barbecuey. That's cooking really nicely, dead slow. The slower you can go really with that cake, the better. It's just going to be really soft. Lift that on there. All right, there we go, back in. I'm going to deliberately put the vents over where the cake is, because I want the heat to be drawn towards the cake. The cake needs to cook faster than the ribs. The ribs, the longer we can keep them in there, the better now, really. Okay, so we're going to just carve up this pineapple now. I'm going to just skewer it up. I'm going to use the last of the rub that we used on the pork on the cubes, and then I'm just going to throw it in the smoker just to cook alongside the ribs, which will be coming out in a minute. But then we're going to do our plantain chips as well. So I was going to use the leftover rub, but I've just knocked it all on the floor. So another shameless plug. I'm going to use my house rub instead. Sorry. But it does work really well on pineapple. This is a really classic kind of Texan style rub. Just going to rub that all in. So the outside of the pineapple. This is available to buy on the Embers online shop, www.emberscafe.co.uk. If I'm going to plug it, I might as well plug it, right? The colour of it looks amazing. Look at those. The cake is almost there. Look at that. I'm just going to drop those in. I'm going to go straight back on with the lid because that is all looking very good. In fact, I'm going to give it a quick glaze. One quick lick. Just build those flavours. Build those layers. Amazing. Oh yeah. Right, so everything's in there pretty much at the moment, apart from these plantain, which we're going to cook while the ribs rest. Yes, guys, you have to wait for the ribs to rest as well, I'm afraid. There's a few people getting twitchy around here. Good things come to those who wait. I like to go on the angle. The flat side is going to go down in the pan because obviously you want that surface area, a bit like with the bananas when we're making the cake, to be touching the pan. So this is the goose fat going in. Not completely submerging them, but so that's just all ready. I've put no seasoning or anything like that on there because we'll just season them up afterwards. Right guys, it's time. I've just had a little sneaky peek, I'm not going to lie.
Big reveal.
And we are there. Look at those. So
they're looking great.
Yeah man, the pineapple can go a little bit longer, that's all good. Let's get these ribs off. Try on the board. Oh yes, they're going to benefit from a little bit of rest. I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to run the knife around the edge of the cake just to be sure that it's going to come out. You have to do this while it's hot because if you don't, basically what happens is the sugars will all caramelize and then it will all stick. So I'm going to do this straight away.
Yeah.
I've got my heat-proof gloves on. I'm going to put the lid on and then you basically pray. Because if you're doing this live or on film, it's inevitably not going to come out, is it? But there we go.
Moment of truth.
Boom! There we go. And then the key thing to do at this point, get it. Oh no! Just going to leave it there. Put that back on. Patch it back up. So it is a little bit lopsided, but we're going to leave it where it is. While it's really hot, you want to get your mic right in here. I'll get my mic right in here because you can hear a little sizzle as the rum goes on. Hear it? Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's rum's just going to soak in. A lot of it will evaporate. That can just sit now in that sun. It's mega hot still. You want to eat it when it's just warm. All right, that rum's just all going to soak in how dark and caramelized it is, the smoke, all that beautiful sugar. You know, it's a fucking peach, trust me.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, good. It looks great, right? It's going to keep layering up.
Okay. Pick up the bottles. Yep.
The glaze. Right, I'm going to just pop that in the fire here because we're running out of fuel. It's the last of it. I forgot to bring any more charcoal with me, so I need to get it super close, but this is going to do the job, I'm pretty sure.
Looks good.
Right, time to start flipping these little fellas over, just gently. There we go, nice golden colour underneath. So that could just come up and rest right here. Right, these are good to come out. Look at that colour on those and that goose fat. All they need now is a little bit of seasoning and we're away. All right, we're pretty much there. Just going to season up with a little bit of margarita Got our belly ribs now. Just going to turn those over. Just want to kind of run the knife down the rib gently. We'll see. Look at that. How juicy they are. You can see they're going to fall off the bone. Just coming away now. If with your teeth, it's going to come away. But what you don't want with ribs is for it to be falling off the bone before you try and eat it. So we've absolutely nailed that, I would say.
Looks spot on, they do.
You approve, yeah?
I do approve, yeah.
Good, good. So I'm just going to work along each rib. Another little drizzle of right at the end, just so everyone knows it's there. Look at those, man. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Go on, mate. Have the end piece.
Thank you.
No worries. Little pre-starter.
Hold on.
Good.
Delicious, that is.
Put some spring onions on there, and just a final little lick of that glaze just over the top. Rum and Coke spiced ribs with a marmalade and Scotch bonnet sauce. We've got caramelized pineapple with the house rub, and then margarita, what is it? And then margarita goose fat fried plantain.
Yeah.
And an upside down smoked banana rum sponge. Fucking have that.
Great spread.
You feeling it? Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, they're good, man.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. There we go. It's easier to getting the second piece out is easier once you've got.
Once you've got a bit
It's
of space.
so sticky, but trust me, this is a good one. A little bit of ice cream. It's not so icy now. On the top. There we go. Bit of a mess.
Unbelievable. Thank you very much.
Give it a go, man. See what you think.
Is this too loud?
It's not ideal. What do you think?
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, you want to have some of this?
Absolutely stunning.
Well, rum made here in Shropshire at Henstone. Got the white Caradoc charcoal filtered. We've got the golden cherry evolution of the cherry wood inside, and then the controversial spice rum that isn't full of sugar and shit. It's made here. There's no vanilla in it. It's got fennel in it, which is probably the only rum in the world, I reckon, that's got fennel in it. Cardamom. What else is in there? All sorts of other good spices. Cloves. Obviously the pimento.
Yeah.
You know, if you want it, you can come to embers.co.uk and go to our website, or come and get it from Henstone Distillery. We'll send it out to you, or come and have a glass at my cafe. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you've seen today, subscribe, like, tell your mates, all that shit, and we'll see you soon.